What's up, guys? Hybrid Mongoose here, and welcome back to another episode of the Hybrid Mongoose podcast. And today, guys, we got Khylerr on the podcast, new up-and-coming YouTuber. I really hope that we can get him to 1,000 subscribers in this video. So if you have not checked out his videos, I mean, guys, here's a clip right now.
So today is actually day one, our first full day here in Mérida, Mexico. Yesterday, that was all travel. It took over 12 hours total of travel with the flight path that we took. Took a long time to get here, but we're here. The state of Yucatan, where Mérida is, has a ton of ancient Mayan structures and temples and things that we're going to be seeing later this week. But today, the first thing that we're doing is we're gonna check this out. Right here, that is a museum.
And as you can see, he's completely underrated. He definitely, you know, in my eyes, deserves a lot more subscribers. So if you haven't checked him out yet, make sure you click on the link below, check out his channel, subscribe to him, and yeah. But before this podcast gets started, I actually want to talk about my Patreon. And, you know, my Patreon, I actually have some friendship tiers. Some things that are actually coming is a new patron-only Discord, which I should have up before the end of the weekend, which is going to be really cool. But yeah, you know, if you want to become my friend in the game, exchange some gifts, help out the channel, help out the podcast, check out the link below and become a patron today. Also, the hybrid mango shirt, both of them, black and white, are going to be going away very, very soon. This shirt will probably make a return at some point, but it will be changed to make it so this shirt itself will become pretty much like a limited edition type thing. So there's only 1 day and 12 hours left. Make sure you check that out in the links below. There's also a black version as well, and on the back it says Hybrid Mongoose. It's the same for both of them. So yeah, get that shirt before it's gone. So with that said, let's get right into the podcast. And without further ado, welcome my special guest, Khylerr, to the podcast. What's up, man?
Where I say hi? Hi.
Yeah. Yes, this is where you say hi.
Okay,
this
cool.
Is where you...
Hi, my name's Khylerr.
and if you guys don't know who he is, he's a very underrated Pokemon Go YouTuber.
Thanks.
We all found him out off of Reversal's podcast, or not podcast, Reversal's live stream, and you know, I got to say, when I saw your video, I was just like, what is happening? Why does he have only, like, you know, you have a criminally small number of subscribers?
Well, thanks. So, I don't want to sound like too like egotistical, but I get that a lot. Like, hey, why are you this small? I'm like, I don't know.
Right. Well, it's all about the algorithm, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And depending on when you started Pokemon Go, it's hard to get started once you. If you waited, let's say, a year until you started posting Pokemon Go footage, it's harder to get seen. You know, it's harder.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, so
because the videos with the most watch time, the algorithm favors those ones. So when people search Pokemon Go, they get fed those ones instead of anybody new coming up and coming. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, if you put Pokemon Go, of course, you know, the top people are going to show up first.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably the first 3 pages. The way that you can, you know, the way that I try to get in there, you know, try to weasel my way in there is just like, you know, certain keywords that people might be searching for, like shiny this or shiny that, or
true,
you know,
same, like that.
Yeah.
That's, I just basically, description is just full of like keywords and trying to feed to the algorithm of what's currently going on to try to hit the people that are just searching things.
Right, and that's why I do, you know, honestly, early on, and it's probably a good tip for you as well, is doing a really good news video helps as well, because for some weird reason, early on, I would do like a news video about, like, we got new boxes in the game or whatever, and randomly it'd get picked up by the algorithm and just shoot up to like 5K, you know, 4K views just out of nowhere.
And so it's just a simple news video.
Just a news video, you know, just about that, you know. And it's just news videos tend to do well because you know, people are searching for certain things, and a lot of times the bigger guys don't cover them as in depth
Oh, that's true.
So sometimes you can really, you know, because I like when the friendship stuff came out and the trades and all that, I did 2 videos. I did one video about talking about the update. It was 12 minutes long. It was very in depth. I explained everything. And then the second one was we found out more information about the friendship, so I made a friendship guide talking about like this is how many times you need to interact with a friend, and and people liked it. Both of those videos got like 4K views on them now. And that was
also a very big update too. That's probably one of the biggest ones of the year. That was probably a very good one to hit.
Yeah, it's gigantic. And it's what I'm saying is anybody can get in there and get those views. It's not just me. You just got to make sure you make a good video. That's really it, So yeah, that's my tip for the smaller people is making a good news video is it can help. It really can. So don't be afraid to cover it, especially if you're not first. There's a misconception of like, oh, if I get the first video out, I'm going to be no, it doesn't matter. If it's a day late, doesn't matter. Just put it out there, make sure it's good, and you still can get picked up in the algorithm. So
as long as it has, all of the details and like you said, in depth on offering something that the other ones aren't.
Right. Yep. So, so that's a good starting point. You have the opposite problem of a lot of YouTubers, which is usually YouTubers don't put enough effort and time into your videos, and I think you probably do the opposite.
I've realized that's something that even Reversal kind of pointed out, that you were putting way too much time into each videos, like you as in me, because and like it's starting to make sense. Like if I want to post more, to post daily especially, you can't sit there and nitpick every little tiny thing about the video until it's perfect. You have to just kind of, this is all I have time for, send it.
Right, and you got to pick your battles too, right?
True.
Yeah, because you'll have the time where you'll spend 4 or 5 hours on a 14-minute vlog and it ends up flopping, and you're like,
true.
Well,
exactly.
What was the point of that 4 hours? Not even counting filming. I'm just talking about editing.
Yeah, just the editing part. Because it's funny. It's when people who have no idea anything about videos or anything about that world, if they find out how long it actually takes to make a video, it's just like seeing the reaction is one of my favorite things, just because they're just like, what, do you spend that much time? Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And obviously I've been pretty consistent for 2 years posting, and it's a grind and a half, and I don't know if you knew this, at one point I almost quit, and that's when Reversal actually brought me back.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I almost quit doing Pokemon Go footage completely, and he made a video bringing me back, and it just lit a fire under me, But once he did that, I was like, okay. And at that point, I think I had like maybe 3,500 subscribers or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And then he easily gained me about 1,000 or so, and then it kept growing ever since. I had good momentum, so I figured I would just go for it.
Just like ride that. You have this, like, kind of, you've got this opportunity. You've got you've got their attention. Just ride with it.
Right, and it almost took just quitting to make me realize a lot of things. Things, and I was doing what you were doing. I was doing the very produced, very high quality video. I spent all this time on it and put it out, and then just especially when the algorithm changed and everything. Because the algorithm is not concerned about the smaller YouTuber at all.
And I get why it doesn't care about us, because we're not making the platform money. The bigger guys are, so of course it's gonna like favor those. I totally get why it does it, but it's still frustrating. But I get it.
Right. So I was under the same exact thing. I would do the same thing. I would overdo it, work so hard on these videos. They came out great, but the problem is, and I'm not saying like don't make good videos. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying completely. It's just don't, when you know that your videos aren't going to be gaining that much momentum, and you know that they tend not to even get that many views, don't focus so much on every single one when you don't have to. Focus on making more that you can try to get more views, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. It's like every now and again, it's good to show people what you're capable of and what you can really do. And community day videos are where I really try to do that. That's where I go. Here, I'm going all in. I'm going to do drone shots. I'm going to do time lapses. I'm doing everything. You're going to see everything in this video.
Yeah.
But I only try to do that like maybe 1 or 2 videos a month where I really go to town on it. Other than that, it's just regular B-roll. Because I see your stuff, man. I know what you're doing. I'm like, I'm like, that time lapse probably took 45 minutes to get, you know. So I'm
well,
like,
they actually don't take that long to get. I can normally get a time lapse. I've gotten it down to about 5 minutes of recording.
that's pretty good.
So yeah, it's actually a whole lot shorter than what it used to be. I used to be recording for like 15 plus minutes for one, but now I've got it down to just that short little time, and it works.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
But still, like if you have, let's say, if you have what 5 time lapses, that still it adds up really quickly.
Yeah, plus the drone shots. Anybody who doesn't have a drone, the second you get out that drone, just count 30 minutes. I mean, easily.
Actually, yeah, because it takes a second to set it up, and then it takes a second to fly around. But one thing that I'm actually learning with it is I can get extra shots with the drone when I'm flying it. So let's say I'm flying it over the city. I can get more shots of the city and then not use all of them in that video and save some for the next one. I'm learning stuff like that, where if you're going to be filming B-roll, film as much B-roll as you can, even if you're not going to be using it. Yeah,
totally.
And you can just throw, if you're in the same location for the next video, just use that B-roll then.
Right. Yep. I think your videos could actually be longer. I know that sounds crazy, but I know.
I get, I hear that. It's just like, it's part of that nitpicky. Like, I'm so like nitpicky, because they're like averaging 4 to 6 minutes right now.
Right. And well, the one thing that I was going to say is like, people want the personality, right? They want, at the end of the day, they're going to want you.
Yes.
So, I mean, a lot of it is I focus a lot on my commentary. You probably know that from my videos by now. But I'm used to it. I can do it. I can talk for days. I mean, seriously. So it's not an issue for me, but I like your concept of what you're doing, but I really feel like if you just, I don't know, talk more.
Just talked more, but without like, there's like a weird mix of without sounding rambly. Cause I've seen those videos where it's like a super long video, but it's just them rambling and rambling and rambling. It's like, get to the point kind of thing.
I cut out stuff. I cut out stuff out of my own videos all the time.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's a weird balance somewhere in there.
Yep.
And I haven't figured that out just yet, but working on it.
Yeah, usually when I go out and record a vlog, it's like at least any good vlog for me is going to be 10 minutes. At least. But I'm not saying you can't make a good vlog in 6 minutes. You can. It's just, you know, sometimes, and also, you know, like, you've seen some of my videos already by now. You know that like the B-roll footage that I get isn't always like super produced, right? It's just me walking, just me looking at this or that or whatever. And that's okay too. You know, it doesn't always have to have drone shots.
Yeah, like you know, that's one thing I'm learning, and especially if you, this is one thing that it's kind of a rule that I stick by is when it comes to B-roll, the adult attention span of an adult American, I think it's 4 seconds long.
Oh god.
So yeah, it's really short. With social media and our phones just in our hands all the time, it's really shortened. So if something new and exciting isn't happening, or new information or something intriguing isn't happening every 4 seconds, then people get bored really fast. So with B-roll, I'll try to make sure that each shot doesn't last longer than 4 seconds before a slight change of some kind happens, so that it keeps people engaged.
See, that was actually one of the things that Reversal had to say about my channel at first. That we're talking to, he did this similar thing, and he critiqued my channel back before we were like, you know, good friends and everything, right? So one of the things that I was doing was making montages that were too long. It's not that they weren't good; they were very good. It's just I was trying to make this like epic thing that went along with the music and like, you know, all that stuff. But the one thing I could say is if you're doing B-roll and if you're doing it correctly, you want to switch. No one wants to see the same thing for too long.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just driving down the street, you don't want to just show that for 20 seconds. You want to switch it up.
Yeah.
Try to go with the music if you can, you know, things like that. So,
and you can, like, my thought is with it, you can make your shots really interesting, but my camera is never going to be as good as like National Geographic, where it's just like, these snazzy time lapses that just go forever, basically, and people are intrigued with
Yeah.
that. My content is not that, and people aren't wanting that. So I might think this drone shot is so cool, I want to play it for like 20 seconds, but I know that nobody else really cares, kind of thing.
It's a balance, really. I try to stay, if I'm going to do like a montage with music, I try to stay under 30 seconds, and I'm switching B-roll constantly, you know?
Yeah.
So I found a pretty good balance in my videos, but it's taken a lot of practice, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing is it's going to take, because I'm still like, I feel like you're never going to stop learning.
Never
creating. And especially if you're just starting, it's okay to suck at what you're doing.
But you don't suck though. That's the thing. So
I know. No, well, I've been also doing it for so long. I've been like making videos, not Pokemon Go videos, but video.
Right. Yeah.
Since like I think I started my YouTube channel 9 years ago.
Oh wow.
So I've been, and that's when I was in the 8th grade, and basically all the way through high school, all the way through up until now, it's just been a constant, always been making videos and always being interested in it. So like I've learned how to make videos, but trust me, the earlier ones, they were awful.
Oh God, yeah. I started. My videos are still on the channel. If you go back far enough, you'll see like Gmod prop hunt stuff. Like,
that's brave. I've set a lot of mine to private just because ooh, this is so bad. Like,
here's the thing though, it was funny back then, so it's still funny now.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's true.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was funny. It was still funny even now. If you were to watch it, you'd still think it was funny. It's not. There's a lot of swearing in those ones and stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing that you learn is like, oh, I shouldn't do this, or oh, I shouldn't. Yeah, you definitely evolve. You see the evolution of somebody if you really dive into their channel.
What really got me to stop like swearing in general in my videos was because my nephews were starting to like be kind of curious about the videos I would make, and my sister-in-law would be like, is there swearing in these videos? And I was like, yeah, a little bit. And she's like, okay, I can't show them, and I was just like, it kind of broke my heart a little bit, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna swear anymore, so it's just better for, I mean, Pokemon is like a family type thing. There are I'm 34 years old, like there are people that are, 20 all the way to my age and more than that enjoy Pokemon because it came out so long ago. So it's like one of those things that like I have a kid now, these people that were fans of the game and the anime back then now have kids. They don't want me swearing like a sailor in the videos, they want it so everybody can enjoy it. And that's and honestly, you're not looking for a cheap gag to try to get to people to laugh, it's just like, it's just more genuine that way. And it's honestly, I think it's better that way for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Cause like in person, in like my everyday life with other people, I swear a lot, but in my videos, I've decided very early on that I've just online wasn't gonna swear, just because I feel like you can reach more people. Just exactly what you just said. More people are openly okay with kids watching that sort of content.
Right.
And I feel like with YouTube and creating content, that's ultimately your audience in a way is kids, because they're the ones with the most time. They're the ones who are going to be consuming the most.
Right.
So if you can't reach them, then you're really cutting off a lot of your potential audience. Right.
Yep. You remember, I don't know if you follow Ninja at all.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that? Where he's like, I'm going to go PG or whatever. And like
his fans freaked out about it. Like some of them did, about saying how he's selling out, but I get it. Like
I totally get it. I mean, we're all adults in private, and we're going to swear, but like, for the videos and for the streams that he does, I mean, it's probably better to stay PG friendly, family friendly.
And I feel like swearing, I feel like those words have a lot of weight to them too, and especially if you choose to rarely use them, when you do use them in your videos, it does make the weight of the situation a whole lot more. So if I've never been in this situation yet, but if there's a topic of something that would require,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Some kind of word like that to really get across what I'm saying, then I would use it. I would probably bleep it, but then still it would also
I totally get what you're saying. Yep. So you know, I like to ask this. We kind of glazed right past it, but I want to talk about it right now.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a very serious question.
Oh God. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Actually, is there a way to be neutral on this? Because like, I have never, like, it's funny because like this has been such a huge thing. I personally would never eat, like, it's not my thing, but I don't know. I've never been against it. I thought it was just like the funniest argument. The bigger question is strawberries on pizza.
What? No.
Yeah. Have you seen that? Strawberries on pizza. It's the new thing.
It's the new. I mean, I would try. Oh my God, it sounds.
Would you try strawberries on pizza? I'd try it.
I
feel like I would at least try it.
I mean, I'm adventurous with food, so I've tried a lot of different stuff. You know,
at least got to try it once, right?
You know, I'm half Filipino, so like my mom was cooking octopus like when I was 3. You know, so it's like I've tried some weird stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's
I've tried some weird stuff, man.
Like I used to go to, like, I've had ostrich before. I've had, you know, like gator, alligator. Like I tried a lot of different stuff. I haven't eaten bugs though. Bugs.
That's something I wouldn't be against eating bugs.
I would try it. I mean,
I would try it because, yeah, took a turn. Now we're talking about bugs. No, I wouldn't be against it. I would definitely try. Like, I bet there's like crickets. Like boil it, maybe like make a stir fry. I feel like that might be not awful.
I mean, it's so common in like Asian countries. They
yeah.
They always are eating some kind of, you know, insect.
Yeah.
And apparently they're like extremely good for you because they're like full of protein and like
they're
no
full of
fat.
Protein. They're if we were to like start growing them, it would actually be really efficient to grow and harvest bugs.
Oh God, I saw that recently. They were like making bread or something out of like cockroaches. I was like,
but if it tastes good, I mean, if it tastes fine, I'm cool with it.
Right. I mean, I would definitely. I'm adventurous, so I'd try.
Yeah.
So definitely. So, so did you play the main series games like growing up?
Okay, so I'm 22, so like Pokemon was right in my generation, right? I was at the prime. I missed it. It totally went over my head as a kid. I missed the train.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't until high school that I got into the trading card game, and I actually started playing that competitively, and I went to tournaments like state.
Oh, really?
And,
wow.
Yeah, I like really got into the card game, and I got into that way before. Like, I think it was a year and a half into being really into the card game that I actually played a main series game for the first time.
Wow.
And I think the only game that I've ever completed is X and Y.
Okay.
And like a lot of Pokemon fans like freak out when they hear that, but I'm just like, I missed it. What do I do?
Oh, no. That's honestly, that's completely fine. Like I've said this a lot of times on the podcast. I was, you know, original red, you know, I played all the way to yellow, and then I kind of stopped there. But, you know, Pokemon Go has got me back into it. And then you know, if you're going to play any other game, Alpha Sapphire was amazing. That was a very good story.
Sapphire.
Yeah. Or Mega Ruby. They're the same, you know.
Yeah. Those are ones that I actually do want to play. It's just, I haven't found time to go back and play them.
It's a very good story, and like it's the art style's great in it. It's really good. So I was surprised by that one. That was one of those that I was like, I should record this for the channel. And then I was just like, I can't stop playing. Like,
yeah, you just get sucked in.
I got so sucked in. I was playing like every second I could for a couple days. I like binge beat it. I like just ran over that game. It was so fast.
Yeah. No, I've done that before. It's just like the entire day goes by and you're just not even phased. You're just keep on like eyes are like drying out because you're playing so much, staring at a screen. You have a headache, but you're just like focused.
Yeah. Speaking of, I just got Breath of the Wild on the Switch, and I've heard that game I haven't gotten into it enough yet because I've been too busy making YouTube videos. But
yeah, well, that's another thing. It's like I don't allow myself to play games a lot. Like I don't consider myself a huge gamer, and the reason is because I get way too sucked in, and I just can't focus on anything else. Like I'll just like one game will just become everything, and I can't like focus on anything else. I like try to just stay away from it, so I'm not destroying all of my productivity.
Right. No, I get you, and I've been guilty of that too. I've done that as well, of course. So, since you didn't play the main series games, what is your favorite Pokemon? Like
My
right
favorite
now?
one is still Eevee. Eevee is
okay.
none of the evolved forms, just Eevee as itself.
I could have guessed that. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like my whole brand.
Because your pin,
my pin,
well,
yeah, my pin is Eevee, and
Khyler just came out with these awesome pins. Link will be in the description below.
oh, thanks.
Guys,
yeah,
check it out, guys. It's really well made. Looks great.
yeah. I'm really proud of the way they turned out. It took a few months of designing, and I know this is one thing that also that I'm learning with like content creating things is like if you don't know how to do something, find somebody who does and like have them work with you, because the pins I didn't I came up with the concept and the idea, and then I was like, I don't know how to make this, so I like went to one of my graphic designer friends and I was like, worked with them to design like this final pin, and then we shipped it off. So it's kind of like,
right,
that's also like before in my mind I always had this concept of like you have to make everything yourself. You have to like be a graphic designer. You have to. That's kind of like the YouTube idea too. Is you have to be your editor. You have to be your cameraman. You have to be everything. So it's like giving any part of that up is kind of scary, but like sometimes you have to be able to create more.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think I could ever give up the editing process.
No.
I love it. I actually love that part. That's my favorite part of making videos is a part where I can actually be creative and you know.
Well, that's like I feel like that's where the story really comes together is in the editing. Is because you go out and you film all day, but then when you're late at night just editing, and it's really grindy and takes forever, but just piecing it together how you want it to be. That's where your voice really can come out.
Right. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, and it's funny because me and Khyler were talking in DMs on Twitter, and I was like, I want to make a pin of my, my hybrid mongoose like logo, like the mongoose, and it's simple enough. I mean, it's literally, it's just going to be like a circle. I mean, that's pretty much it. And you told me what it was involved, and I'm like, what?
I don't want to do any of that. No, I get you. Because it is a big process, because you have to like pre-order them all and then hope that they sell, and then
he was like, you got to find a blacksmith. And...
You got to find a blacksmith with level 99.
He's got to have
you then have to go to Lumbridge, and you have to talk to the ogre.
Oh god, yeah. So yeah, when you told me that, I was like, what? Oh my god. So I don't know. I know Zoe Two Dots did one as well. I might talk to her about like those pens.
It's funny. That's who I talk to get to figure out my stuff. I'm like,
oh really?
I see you do pens. I have no idea what I'm doing. Where do I start? And she recommended the place where she got them made, and then the store that she had. So I just kind of went off of what she was doing. So she did all the research. She's the pioneer. I'm just
I know she was doing it first. All I want is that mongoose pin. That's it.
Yeah, I just want something that I can like put on a little hat and be like and then sell and then have other people have. Like that's all I want.
It's just super simple, and I really feel like it wouldn't be that hard. I mean,
I don't think it would, because I'm looking at your logo right now. It would be, you already have it made. You would just have to send it off.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna be talking later, because
we're gonna be talking later. Talking business.
people need those pins, man. They need the pins.
People need the pins.
So I know you travel a lot for this game.
Yeah.
Well, is that by choice, or is that your job? Like is it like
Well, it goes back way beyond this game. Is travel has always been something that is a passion of mine. I want to travel just as much as I can. And
smart.
Yeah. I want to just see as much of the world as I can in my lifetime. That's like one of the things. So I travel as much as I can, and the job that I have, I do get to travel a little bit for work, which is a benefit. I work for a production company, so I make commercials and that sort of thing. And our clients, they'll be in a couple different states, so I get to go around a little bit for that. But all my money that I make and I save, I just put towards traveling, just because I love doing that already.
I wish I would have done it more when I was younger, to be honest. Like I really do.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So are you going to GoFest this year?
Possibly. There's something brewing that I can't like go into detail yet, but I could be and I could not be. I find out like literally like today or tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
I tried to get a ticket when it first came out. You know how
Mhm.
they sold out in like what, like 4 minutes or something like that.
It was fast, yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't get one when that happened, but I could be getting potentially a hookup to go, but we're still waiting on that. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Right, yeah, yeah. Either
You're
way,
going, correct?
oh yeah, yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
like, oh yeah.
yeah. The only thing I'm worried about right now is because did you go to GoFest last year?
I did not.
Oh,
No.
okay. So the deal is if you don't actually have like a VIP pass or media pass, you can't bring like a camera with a selfie stick or a
Yeah, I've
camera
heard
stick.
about that, and I'm terrified.
So last year I recorded the entire thing off my camera by just shooting with my arm, and it sucked. It sucked so bad. The video still came out great, but God, I mean, it was
No,
so
I
was
get you.
so annoying, and I just really don't want to do that again. So that's in the works right now of trying to get me a media pass, and God, I want it so bad because
Yeah.
I do not want to. I do not want to have to hide stuff in my umbrella and like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go all James Bond in here. and
Well,
bring
that's
them.
okay. So I have a story along those lines. So I went to Mexico in one of my videos, actually, and a couple of them. And I went to Chichen Itza, which is one of the 7 new ancient wonders of the world. If it's one of the ancient Mayan pyramids, the biggest one. And on site they don't allow any tripods, any audio equipment of any kind. So like mics, anything. They just allow you your basic camera. So I
Right.
had to like sneak everything in. I had to like deassemble my camera and then like put everything in like different parts on me and then go through the security and then put it back together. I don't want to do that at GoFest because I don't want to like make anybody angry. But yeah, it's a process in some places because they get so
I know.
weirded out by cameras.
My thing is either way I'm gonna be recording. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen no matter what. It's just whether how comfortable I'm going to be when I'm recording.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Because it was just so uncomfortable having it that way last year.
Yeah, because then I use the tripod so much because I'll just set it up and talk to it that way and have to. It would just change up. You can still make a great video. It's just a whole lot more restrictions on it.
Right. Yep. Yep. And it's yeah. I really got my fingers crossed for that. I mean,
yeah. No, hopefully.
I know I've been saying it on Twitter and social media.
Yeah, you're like, hey, Niantic, help.
I'm like, please
me
help
film your thing. I have subscribers, I promise.
So, man, I think I might know who's helping you too, but I'm not going to say. But anyway.
Snap.
Yeah, no. So I know, it's going to be awesome in GoFest. Truly.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge meetup. It's going to be so much fun. And
well, that's one of the biggest reasons I want to go is just because everyone is going to be there. Just about everybody from the community is going to be there. And it's like, it's the only time that everyone's going to be together in one spot. So it's like, I want to just be there mainly just for that, just to meet everyone and be there with everyone.
Right. In last year, it was incredible being around that many people. It was like 30, 40,000 people playing Pokemon Go. It's just nothing like it. It was so cool, even though it had its faults. And
I've heard a lot of bad things about just the way it was handled last year, but I feel like the people is the most important takeaway of any kind of event like this. So it's like, if you can still find joy in the people, even though no one could log into the game and there's all these other issues, just being around everybody and the companionship there would have to be nice.
I thought it was amazing. I overall, that's why everyone was so mad about last year, but it still sold out in 4 minutes. So
still in 4 minutes, and the website just crashed like right away.
I mean, I still do think that the scalpers got a big hand in that, obviously, on eBay and all that other stuff. It sucks. It really sucks that I still believe you should buy them in game. I don't get why we pay for Pokecoins in game.
True.
Like, why are you making this hard? Like, let's just go, and you got all our information. I mean,
yeah, just let us
literally,
instead of having to enter it in manually somewhere else. You could actually just buy it in game. That's true, because your credit card's already hooked up, your ID, that they're asking for anyway when you do sign up.
I mean,
it's all in game.
It's all in there. I mean, they got your email address from your Gmail account or your Poke Trainer Club's account. They already have that. They have your name from your credit card.
Do you think it would crash less? Like, do you think the game would crash less if maybe they announce that, let's say at 1 o'clock it is, then the ticket just appears in the shop and you can just buy the shop? Do you think their servers could handle that? I feel like they.
Well, you know,
Or do you think the whole game would just crash?
There's that possibility too. Unfortunately, we really wouldn't know unless we did it. Unless they did it. So
I will say so far, I do think one thing that's a positive is that they're splitting it up into 2 days to try to give more people an opportunity to go.
Definitely.
I think that's cool. I think they're at least learning from their mistakes and making a better product, a better event.
And the lines from last year were just ridiculous. I was in the early access line. It still took 4 hours to get in. So
really? Wow, I didn't hear about that.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I say 4 hours, but
it was 30 minutes, but it felt like 4 hours.
No. We had to get there 4 hours early to wait in line because the line was already going around the door.
Oh, I see. I see.
Wrapping around.
Yeah.
So we had to get there early, and then it took about an hour to get in after the line started moving.
Okay, I see. That makes sense.
But if I wasn't in that early access line, I would have been like way around, because it was almost wrapping around the entire park, and that park's not small. Also, this park is way bigger than the other park as well, so that's going to help. Plus 2 entrances, so it should be half as many people in 2 different entrances, so half as many people in each line. I mean, it should be like 25% smaller in each spot.
Yeah.
So,
well, and as somebody who didn't go to last year's Go Fest, I haven't heard much about it. It seems like, I saw some videos. I saw video. Obviously, like there was a lot of videos made on it, but like a lot of the negative stuff, I feel like wasn't covered in a lot of these videos, and I get why. That's a whole nother thing. But just like I have no idea what happened last year. I just know that things didn't work out how they're supposed to. And everyone got a Lugia at the end.
Right.
Sorry, Lugia.
Yeah, I think.
Did you transfer it?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay. I thought you were gonna be like, actually, I got rid of it.
No. That Lugia I think was a 98% for me. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I was extremely happy when I saw it. I was like, oh man, like,
and especially because at the time legendaries had just came out. And
funny story. I have a friend named Eli that is teamless, level 40.
Oh, snap.
He has no team. He probably would love that I'm talking about him right now.
How? Because you couldn't raid to do that. You couldn't.
Right.
That would be a like old school grind to get to level 40.
So he got a Lugia from, because like other than the field research, how else were you supposed to get legendaries?
That's true. Yeah.
So he was level teamless plus had a Lugia. So that's like,
so he was like, his account was like special. Yeah.
I
bet he was bragging about that to everybody. Guys, I got a Lugia with no team. Look at me, like he would show up to raid. Guys, look, I have no team. I also have a Lugia.
Well, what's actually really impressive too is he without the raids, he doesn't get the rare candy. So
that's true. Did he walk that for like 50,000 kilometers?
I think he can actually max it out this next Go Fest. So I think he's gonna max it out now. Yeah.
And he still doesn't have a team.
Right. Yeah.
That's just so much. I just don't want to think about that. That just sounds hard.
I still tell him to just pick a team.
Yeah, just pick a team. Yeah, your life is going to be so much easier. You're missing out on so many features.
Wait, what team are you?
Instinct.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're not Mystic.
Underdog. Yeah.
As long as you're not Mystic, it's cool.
It's cool. As long as I hear that from like both. As long as you're not Valor. Oh, as long as you're not Mystic. It's like, okay.
Well,
but I love it because nobody ever really like, we're so away from like the team beef. Like I feel the team beef is so much stronger between Mystic and Valor, and then
for sure.
Instincts are just over here just hanging out, and and they're just like, oh, they're fine. They can come play with us. They're fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm glad that Instinct got organized, at least in my area, and I know a lot of different areas, because there's not as many of them. So when they find, they
we have
work
to
as
be
a
more
team.
strategic. Yeah.
Right. It's it's like Mystic has majority of the population for sure. Valor's definitely second, and then Instinct is last. But yeah, no, I got nothing to get. I have friends from all of the teams.
I don't care about the teams like in general. I'm just like I don't get all into it with the beef. I do remember, I think when I chose my team, it took me like a whole day of like analyzing. Do I want to follow my intuition? Do I want to do this? Do I like thinking way too much about it than I probably had to.
Well, it was funny because I picked Valor because of I always used to go red. So I used to always I was original red for the game. I always used to go with Charmander for my first starter Pokemon. So I was always doing the red one. So when it's like, oh, red Valor doing it, right away.
And I feel like that's another reason why Mystic is so popular, is because blue is such a popular color. And I feel like I think it's the majority of people's favorite color is blue. So I'm pretty sure that's like people are just like, oh, the blue one, I want to be blue.
Also,
that's a good color.
Also, it was in the middle. I think it was the middle choice.
Oh, was it? Okay.
And I read an article that were talking about that's actually one of the reasons why, is because it was right in the middle, and it was the choice to pick. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was already kind of preset, so
Oh yeah. Are you into superhero movies at all? Do you like the Marvel movies or no?
I've seen them. I've seen a few of them. I haven't seen all of them. Like I've seen Infinity War and I've seen a few of the others. My biggest thing with them that I like can't get into them is just really any show that does this. It's the false deaths. Like,
oh yeah.
Like when like in a superhero movie, they'll die and then the next movie is just them coming back to life, and then they'll die and come back to life. And I just like that kind of thing. I just can never get into because I just like can't get attached to the characters, because I know that no matter what, if plot wants them back, they'll be back.
I get what you're saying there.
That's like my vendetta against superhero movies.
See, I was always into the comic books, at a young age. So it's like the fact that there are good superhero movies now.
Yeah,
I'm super happy. I'm like, yes. I mean, I know they don't follow exactly what's going on in the comics.
Yeah, and they're definitely more modernized, or I guess you could say.
But I did love Infinity War. I thought it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I
saw that one. I did too. I haven't seen a lot of the other ones, so I kind of only knew half of what was going on. But I thought it was cool.
What about Star Wars?
Oh, that was my childhood. Okay. That was like, I can get behind that.
You see this pork back here? It's pork.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see what's his name? The little chicken thing from the last one.
Yeah, this guy right here. Let me grab
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This guy.
Yeah.
Shoot,
watch this.
Oh, that's pretty nifty. I'll take 10.
I showed my son that, and he at first was super scared of it. He was like,
what is this? I want nothing to do with this ever.
I mean, I like the Star Wars. Rogue One was really good. Last Jedi. This last one though, I don't know.
Solo. I'm not accepting that Solo is canon.
I didn't. I haven't seen Solo actually.
Oh, then no spoilers.
Yeah. So no, I haven't seen Solo. It doesn't matter. It's okay. But The Last Jedi. I don't know about.
I feel like that one was kind of lacking too. Like I feel like I'm guessing that the last one of this new trilogy is going to be a really good one. But I feel like I hope so. I feel like they maybe had like a story developed for the first one, and then the last one, how they're going to end this trilogy, but then they didn't know how to like do the middle, so they just kind of threw this in as a filler episode.
I have so many problems with with that one, because The Force Awakens, right? The coolest part of that movie was seeing Luke at the end, because you're like, oh man, you done messed up. Here he comes.
Done goofed. Yeah.
He's gonna get you. And then like, what do they do in the next movie? They just made Luke so weak, and just
they made him like this old grumpy uncle who doesn't want the kids around.
I hated it.
And then they false death. They did the false death thing with
is he really gone though?
Oh well, not with him, with Leia.
With Leia. See, that's a problem though. Like how are they gonna wrap that up in the next one?
Well, they can like CGI her in and then close out her story that way.
But I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how they're gonna do it, honestly.
See, twist. I wish they would have when Kylo Ren shot her and she flew out of the thing. He was like conflicted there for a second to fire. I still think that. I mean, honestly, because she passed away in real life, they should have changed it so was the.
I feel like that should have been honestly too. I feel like that should have been. They should have emphasized on that more and made it more of a bigger death, and then ended her story there. I feel, or in some way there. A
lot of people didn't like that. That was the way that she was going to go. They're like, "Oh, she's a beloved character. She can't go that way." But it's just like, how are they going to write this into the next one? That's the problem. Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it where it's going to make sense.
But with Rogue One, there are so many characters that they like CGI.
Oh yeah, true.
It's probably really expensive, but they can do it.
That's true. Yeah. No, what was cool about Rogue One is you didn't see it coming, and you weren't kind of attached to these characters. I actually thought Rogue One was amazing.
I honestly though, same. I thought Rogue One was really good. I thought it was I think it's up there with one of the best. I think it's a very good one.
What episode 1, man? Pod racing. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that one is good.
No, I'm just kidding. You're like, what?
I will say with the prequels, I feel like they kind of took a risk with them. I'll respect that they kind of like tried to do something new, but it just didn't pay off.
The whole thing, the whole casting for Anakin through young and old, I thought it was bad.
Yeah. But I was a kid when those came out, so I thought they were great.
I mean, the pod racing was sweet. Like I was like, and then like the game on N64 was awesome too. Like I remember that game.
Yeah.
You know? But like looking back on it now, you watch it and he's just like, "Are you an angel?" And you're like, "Oh, this acting is so bad."
But like in the second grade, I was like, "This is so cool!" Like I was into it. But then, of course, watching it now, I'm like, "Ooh, why'd they put Jar Jar there?"
Well, they also made Anakin as a teenager or whatever, right? Like when he was older, it just made him sound like a whiny brat. I don't know. It just
his character was very whiny all through. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they could have recast that a little bit better. And I mean, there's way better child actors out there. I mean, I don't get what was happening when they cast that. So,
but I will say I love. For the most part, even though the last two movies weren't the best of the reborn kind of whatever you would call it, the newer trilogy and the newer series that they're going, I do like what they're doing with it. I think that just like how it feels whenever a lightsaber is ignited.
Oh yeah,
it's like how, especially when you're in the theater and everything just rumbles with it. It's like that kind of stuff is really cool, and I feel like when they're battling, it's more brutal and it's more because like in the prequels it was more choreographed. It was more like they were like they were dancing, and this one it's just brute force going at each other. And I do like the way like just little details like that have changed.
Right. No, and my whole thing about the whole like the last Jedi spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it yet, you are not a fan, okay? So
you're not a fan.
Don't even try.
It's been like, 2 years. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while. So I mean, if Luke was gonna die anyway, right? By doing that force projection thing, why didn't he just go there in real life and kick some butt? Because we wanted to see that. Everybody wanted to see that. See him just go to town, start cutting the legs off of the walkers and just going crazy. We wanted to see that, and it's just like. God, but they missed a huge opportunity.
Yeah, but I don't know. Did he know that he was gonna die, like from his character's perspective? Because he kind of didn't die. He kind of just was absorbed into the Force.
Right. Like kind of like Yoda.
He kind of he hit his point of mastery, I guess, where he just became one with the Force in that moment.
Right. It's just my feeling is if he was gonna go anyway. It's much cooler to have him there and fight,
freaking destroying things and like
fight them, and then if he dies and they get away, it wasn't for nothing. You know, he saved them.
Yeah.
His death would have meant a lot more, you know, instead of just distraction and then he's gone.
And then we cut to him fading away on another planet.
Yeah. So I really felt like he was also I think he should have been you know, Rey's father. I think that would have added more to the story as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't like the way they that brings up, because like in the first one there were so many, like the movie ended and there were so many questions.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like when episode 7, when that ended, you were just like buzzing with questions like, who's Rey's father? What's, like, there's just so many like more is unanswered than you went in with. And then in this one they kind of just brushed over things like, oh, Rey's parents, they were just smugglers. Oh, this.
Well, like when she found his lightsaber in the Force Awakens, and it was like, you know, seeing visions of where he was and everything. I was like, there's no connection there. So that there's no connection there. It's just just Force or something. Like, what is that?
Yeah,
I thought that meant more, you know, when watching it for the first time. But I guess it didn't. So.
But I guess it didn't. So whatever.
God, I'm glad you like Star Wars. I'm gonna have to have me and Jay Kim were talking about doing like just a Star Wars episode. Like, that's it.
Just talking about Star Wars.
That's it.
Deep diving into it. I'd be down for that.
We're gonna have to get you back to that. You know, on for that. We'll have 3 people talking about Star Wars,
and it'd just be like just nerding out, just like.
Oh God, these people are like, talk about Pokemon Go. What's
Talk
happening?
about Pokemon. Like, where's? I thought this was Pokemon. Where's that?
Well, yeah, we've already hit 50 minutes, which is crazy.
Have we really? No way.
Yes.
Shoot.
Yes.
Okay.
This is usually about the time of the podcast where I like try to get into the questions, because, you know, it usually takes a couple minutes to get those questions out and everything else too. So, let's go into that. And there was some really good questions actually this time. This is great. So I posted on Twitter, and I know you saw it too.
Yes.
Basically, you know, saying like, we're going to be filming a podcast together, and if you have any questions, you know, let us know. And one of the first questions is this your friend? I swear this is your friend.
Romina?
Yeah, Romina.
Yeah, me and her are friends. Yeah.
I was like, who is this person? She's cool, you know, like.
Yeah, no, we actually met a couple years ago at one of the VidCons.
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
we've been just kind of friends ever since. We see each other just at VidCon, but we've been, she's really cool. She does like travel stuff too. So. Oh
no, that is cool. So her question is, it's actually for me. Actually, it says, you recently shifted in the kinds of videos you make. Can you talk about what finally motivated you to make that change? Besides that, Pokemon are dope. So for me, it was actually the almost quitting Pokemon Go content that really made me you know, look past everything and say, you know, what can I do that's different that will, you know, make me stand out other than the other people? Because anybody can make vlogs, and there's a million YouTubers out there doing the same thing, but what can be something that I do that nobody else does? And, you know, the podcast just so happens to be one of those things. So it's you know, it was kind of scary at first, because I'm a huge fan of podcasts. Like, I love podcasts. I listen to them weekly. I have a lot of my favorite podcasts that I listen to all the time. I listen to that more than music. So I'm probably old. Okay. So,
I'm old.
But you know, I was a huge fan of podcasts, and it was always something I wanted to do. And I had a lot of fears starting it. You know, you're like, am I interesting enough to actually host one of these things? You know, the biggest fear is dead air. You know, like, you just don't want it to be like, oh, we're not talking crap. Well, next time, you know, and try to get out like that. So I forget where this quote came from, but like, you know, I always say it. It's like everything you ever wanted is just outside your comfort zone. Yeah. And I really feel like that's true, because this was outside my comfort zone at first. And I really was like, I don't know how this is going to be received. Is it going to be good? You know, things like that. And You know, I had a good friend FLW Videos that wanted to do one with me, and we really started. I did a couple before that were smaller. One with my buddy Chi, who was awesome. Check out that podcast if you haven't already. He's a great guy. Check it out. It's like the second podcast I think it was. He was my first guest ever, and it's still really good. But the first really Pokemon Go focus one was FLW Videos. Thank you, Famous, if you're watching this. And he really pushed me to start doing that, and we started doing podcasts. The very first one we did was about scalpers and things like that with the Pokemon Go Fest. And that's actually, you know, Reversal watched that one, which shocked me at the time. And he actually tweeted it out and was like, you guys need to watch this and all this stuff. And I was like, you know, maybe I'm onto something here, you know?
Yeah.
And now as time went on, you know, obviously it's a lot better. And I've gained a lot of confidence from it as well. Being able to run a show like this and be able to keep it going and keep it interesting is not an easy task all the time. So yes. So
yeah,
great question.
I think when did that transition for you happen? Like when did?
Let me look actually, because I can actually look and pinpoint.
Because I remember I think with that question, it also might have been targeted a little my direction, because I actually did do a big shift at the beginning of the year
for
with
Pokemon.
my content.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because before I had another channel actually, and I had two, and I had a channel that was focused entirely around just travel videos, travel related things, and talking about the history of different places. And at the beginning of the year, I just switched, just like completely 180 switch, and just did entirely Pokemon. And for me, at least, that was kind of a little bit of what you touched on, how I felt like there wasn't like I wasn't getting viewed anyway, so I might as well just be making the things that I'm really passionate about.
There you go.
I'm really passionate about Pokemon Go and Pokemon because it's really affected my adult life. Yeah. And I love traveling, so let me just combine those. And especially after seeing like the work that Trainer Tips Nick and Mystic 7 are doing, how there's like these travel vlogs, and then they're also, you know, catching the regional Pokemon of that area, but then they're back to the travel vlog, and they're back to the Pokemon, and I'm just like, that's so cool. Like and I started like watching it and like critiquing, like it was very good, but I'm just like, if I was doing it, if I was in that situation, I would do it this way, and I would do it this way. Then I'm thinking, okay, why don't I do it that way? Why don't I just make it if I have all these ideas? And then no,
that's great. That's great. And honestly, it's really the best of both worlds, especially if you're into it, right? Like if we're into it, we play it all the time, we watch other people play it. So if you're into that, a travel vlog plus a game that you can play on the go is just, I mean, you can't really get better than that. I mean, it's awesome. It's just, there's nothing like it, really. There's nothing like
there isn't. And then especially with I feel like if you're passionate about something and you're making the things you're passionate about, the audience that's there is gonna find that and see that you're passionate about it and be involved with that. Like it doesn't matter what it is, how niche it is. There's gonna be another group of people who want to see that sort of thing.
Right. Yep. So great question. That was really good. And actually, I thought you were talking about the podcast, but you were probably talking to Khyler. But either way, here we go.
Either way, we got two answers. Two answers in one question.
All right. So the next question comes from, what is that name? Oh, Zoe Two Dots. Yes,
Zoe Two Dots.
We know.
Is she? Who is she?
I think she's a fashion blogger.
Is she fashion? Zoella, right? Her name is like Zoella. I'm pretty sure that's
all those Z girls do the same thing, I thought. So. So Zoe Two Dots, she's awesome. She was on the podcast as well. She's great. Her question, she's got a great question. She says, what is your all-time favorite Pokemon, which you did talk about?
EEVEE, what's up?
EEVEE for you. For me, it's Charmander. And it says, if
not evolved, just Charmander.
Charizard's really my favorite.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you were a gym leader, what type would your gym be? Mine would have to be fire. I mean, obviously, to go with my,
Yeah. But the red. Mine would probably be dragon. If I could be a dragon gym leader, I feel like that would be my thing. Either that or a ghost type, ghost dark type gym leader.
Oh, that would
Either
be good
that,
too.
because
Yeah.
like spooky ghost type things, I'm interested in that. I'm into that sort of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd be interested in that or dragons, because dragons are just dragons. Yo, dragons are cool.
Well, it's honestly the dragon types were always the second to the last battle in most of the games, so it's usually one of the harder gyms.
So
to
I'd be
beat.
the best.
You'd be the lance of
yeah.
and
And they'll all be like not dragon, so it's just be like Charmander and Gyarados and or Charizard and Gyarados, and all the dragons that are dragons but not really.
Let's see. Last question from Zoe too. That's just one more. It says number one country you would want to visit for any reason.
Okay, so my number one place that I want to go just in general is Iceland.
Ooh,
because it's just such a beautiful country. Just the scenery, and of course I'm really into cinematics, so I just want to make videos in Iceland. I feel like that would be so cool. That's one of my ultimate goals. And I think I just found out that Mr. Mime spawns there.
Really?
I think DX1 is actually he's there. I think he's maybe had a layover or something. He was in Iceland for a short little bit and he caught Mr. Mime, I think. He tweeted something about it today.
Oh wow.
I'm just like, if Mr. Mime's there, that's enough incentive. Like, I'm going. Like,
yeah,
I can make Pokemon videos about it and see the school.
And I think you saw my video about the trade, but yeah, I did get to Mr. Mime.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that.
But you know what? I'm gonna make that mandatory for any trade video for regionals. It has to come with a story. If you don't give me a story, I'm not gonna trade with you.
I don't want it. Yeah.
And also when you start asking people where the Pokemon come from, you see how many people are spoofers. No offense,
Yeah.
but I
don't want to trade with spoofers. That's just not my thing. Like. That's a whole nother topic. Oh my god!
Right?
But, just spoofing in general is just. I feel like if I'm trading with somebody, I want to trade with somebody who went out and caught the Pokemon,
right?
And like has this, like you said, a good story. Because I feel like that's the cool things that can be tied in with a Pokemon is the story of how you got it. Like Ninetales, for example. My first Ninetales was when the game first came out. It was me and one of my friends just driving around playing. And there was this Ninetales, and we like ran to it, and it was like the first semi rare Pokemon that we encountered, and it was like this big process to get it, and we kept it, and it's just like there's a memory involved.
Yes,
with that Pokemon.
I have a couple Pokemon like that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And yeah, no, it's I got nothing against the spoofing community. If they want to do that, that's fine. I just don't want your Pokemon because I want
exactly.
I want the story. I want the story, because, I want to know the journey that Pokemon went and the journey that you went on to bring that Pokemon to me. So it's like the regional Pokemon, especially like if it's a Kangaskhan, I want it. I want to know where it came from. I want to know how you got it.
Zoe Dots, where you at?
I think
I go fast.
I think I'm honestly gonna try to. I know I'm gonna be meeting up with them on Friday, so I'm gonna be like, hey. Don't do a special trade.
Don't do a special trade, please.
Do it with me, please. That's funny. Okay, so Reese Amazing, who is also on Reversal's podcast.
Yeah, I know her. She's a friend.
Check her out.
Yeah, she has great energy.
Yep. She has a question. It says, what place has he not traveled to specifically for Pokemon that he'd like to visit the most? We kind of went over that already. I think in Iceland, you said.
Yeah.
But this part of the question's not been answered. It says, and what are his favorite types of videos to watch?
Hashtag.
Hashtag. She says hashtag curious.
Curious. So. Okay. Let's see. My favorite types of videos are actually vlogs. Just seeing it's like the new reality TV of just like, here's this person. Like there's this new and up and coming YouTuber. I'm not sure if you heard of him, Casey Neistat.
Oh God.
He's pretty underground right now. I hope he makes it. But
oh God.
No, just like stuff
he's
like that.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah. Just like he's actually one of the reasons that I continue to pursue film. It just in my life is because this is way before Pokemon Go even came out, was because just seeing the work that he was doing and just like this work hard, just throw yourself at the wall until something happens kind of mentality. I was just like, I want to do that. And And that was like way before Pokemon Go was even around. And it's just
Right.
like seeing vloggers, just people who are not just vlogging their lives, like, oh, we're getting lunch now, kind of. It's like stuff where they're doing something. Like with Casey Neistat, for example, he's building a company. Like his vlog is about his life, but also he's building a company. And it's stuff like that that I'm just like, that's so cool. I love just like diving into that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I watched a lot of his videos. I'm a big fan of his as well. And the way that he kind of commands the camera, like when he's telling a story, you're into it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's something that everybody should aspire to. It's the story in the video that really matters, you know.
Yeah, I think stories, that's one thing I've learned, is just story is the most important thing. Is if you, and that's like when I film videos, it's like, how am I telling a story of today? Like, how is this more? And that's actually part of why going back to even why I got into making Pokemon Go videos, was because I was already making videos, but I'm just like, I can vlog, but then also have this thing that I'm also doing. Like, it's not just, hey guys, I'm getting lunch. It's, hey, we're getting lunch, and then we're gonna catch this, and it's like it's the main focus.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a couple vlogs, like literally 2 on my channel before, and you know, the first one I did was actually pretty well received. The problem is you're right. I find myself feeling like I'm not that interesting after a certain point, and at least this is personal, right? Like I just vlog alone without anything, I'd feel like
who? I don't even want to watch this. Why is somebody else? Why would somebody else want to watch it? You know,
right.
So and especially when you work like 40 hours a week, you work a full-time job, and you don't. It's like, hey, I'm in the office again. I'm in the office again. Like,
no, it's you have to if you're doing a regular vlog, having adventures daily is really important, because you know, people want to see you do something, not just sit on the couch all day. So that's
I sat on the couch all day and I played video games, but that's it for today. See you guys tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, so actually we'll do 2 more questions. So next question is from True Inferno, which is a mod of mine. He's really cool. He says, what will you do when you reach 1,000 subs? I just subbed, by the way. So yeah, what are you gonna do for 1,000 subs?
I don't know, honestly. I do. It's funny because my friend called me today and he saw that my sub number was getting there, and he's like my best friend from back home, and he's like, what are we doing? He asked the same thing today. He's like, what are we doing when you hit 1,000 subs? And I'm just like, I don't know. We're going to celebrate in some way. We're going to get a cake or something. I don't know. We're just going to we're going to just have a night of just like celebrating that things are going places, I guess.
Right. Well, no, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Even if it's just like you and your friends eating a ton of cake. Like that sounds like a great time to me.
That's funny. Okay. So last question is actually from another, this is probably my best Pokemon Go friend. He actually, my friend Master Chi, he started out as actually a fan. No joke.
Really?
Yeah. Cause I started putting out videos like early on. Right. And I went up to Rensen and I literally ran into him, and he's just like, hey, you're Hybrid Mongoose. And I was like, what? Like, because I had like 1,400 subs at the time or something like that. And he actually recognized me, and I was just like, is this real? You know, so
is this real?
We kept kind of running into each other over time, and you know, eventually we exchanged information, started hanging out together, and you know, been friends ever since. So it's kind of crazy to say that, but yeah. He's my Pokemon Go buddy. But anyway, his question. Go ahead.
So, sorry. No. Let's hear his question first.
Okay, his question is, what Pokemon would you like to spawn at your house right now? No legendaries, but shinies are okay.
No legendaries, but shinies are okay. Okay, I get really excited whenever I see one of the evolutions. Just because Eevee is my favorite, and just seeing like a wild Jolteon or a Flareon, it's decently rare. So my Pokedex is almost filled. Like, you know, I'm only missing a couple more, which I'm gonna be getting soon. But it's like, so I just get excited when I see things like, oh, it's a Jolteon. I don't care what the CP is. It's just cool to see that in the wild. So probably, I don't think I've ever seen a Vaporeon in the wild. That's
I have.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've seen Flareon and Jolteon, just never Vaporeon. So I would say Vaporeon in the wild.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, for me, geez. Just because it was a jerk in Gen 1, I'd like a Porygon to spawn at my house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he was a pain. So many
Such a pain. Such a pain. Because she knows this story. Oh, my God. I used to get made fun of all the time. Because I did the very last Pokemon I needed for Gen 1 was minus regionals was Porygon, and it just was such a pain to get it. And
yeah,
God, it was so bad. It was so bad. But man, I got more questions for you, but we're out of time.
Oh,
so.
I get you. I get you.
We're out of time. So guys, check out his channel. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. We're doing it right now.
Have a cake party. It's gonna be great.
Honestly, I'm not friends with you anymore. If you don't subscribe to his channel, go down there. Let's get him to 1,000, guys. We can do that. He's almost there. He's almost there. So
and monetization. Let's go.
But yeah, no, thanks for being on the podcast.
No, thanks for having me.
Is there anything else you want to say before we end this here?
No, I think that's pretty good. I think just don't yell at it, like don't attack a spoofer community, please. I guess I would say that.
They already hate me. What are you talking about?
I think I'm just under their radar. I'm not there yet.
Oh God, they probably already hate me, and that's I can't help that. It's fine. But anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys. And that is going to do it for the podcast, guys. What a great podcast that was. Thank you, Khylerr, again, for being on the podcast. Guys, seriously, check out his channel. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. If we can get him to 1,000 subscribers before the weekend's over, I will be so happy. So if you are going to sub to him, put in the comments below, subbed with an exclamation point, because let's give him some love, guys. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. Also, guys, don't forget to check out the Patreon links down below. Also, the Hide Bread Mango shirt that's only going to be here for another day or so. Check that out. And that is going to do it for the podcast, guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.